Let's start with the fifth part of the series, that is the vertical tabs. And you can see that we have these three vertical tabs and none of them are displayed as the default one, and the associated content of the tab is displayed only when the tab is clicked upon. And we have this second design in which we have this one tab displayed as the default one. Every time we refresh the page, this middle one is displayed as the default one. And just as always, I am going to use this Sublime Text as the text editor. You can choose any other text editor of your choice. Write HTML, and before going any further, let's save the file as HTML document. Write the name of the file, then .html extension, then save it. And you can observe that the color of the tag has changed, which means the text editor is now recognizing the tags. So write HTML and hit enter. All of these statements will be automatically filled in by the text editor. Then quickly add the language attribute to the HTML tag. Then write the title, then write a meta tag. Then we are going to write one more meta tag for ensuring proper rendering in touch, for ensuring proper rendering and touch zooming in mobile phones and other touch screen devices. Write meta space name equals viewport. Then add another attribute, content. Write the value as width equals device hyphen width, then comma, initial hyphen scale equals 1. Then create the style tag, and we are going to write all of the CSS statements in between these style tags. Let's leave them for now and get in the body tag. Start with the div tag. Write div, then add class as tab, tab. Then get in between the div tags and create a button tag and add class equals tab links. Then add one more attribute, on click equals open city, open brackets, write event, comma, within single inverted comma write Lucknow. Then write Lucknow as the value for this button tag. Similarly, get down and create one more button tag and write class as tab links. Add open click attribute and write open city, open bracket, then event, comma, within single inverted commas write Mumbai. Then Mumbai as the value for the button tag. Then create one more button tag in the same way, add class as tab links, then write on click attribute, then write open city, open bracket, then write event, comma, within single inverted commas write Hyderabad, close the bracket. Then write Hyderabad as the value for this button tag. This is going to create 3 buttons, and that open city is a JavaScript function that we are going to define later in this video, so that when any one of these button is clicked, the associated JavaScript function is invoked with the value that we have written. Now let me just quickly open the file in browser so that we can see the progress side by side as we go on writing the codes. You can see that in the browser we have the 3 buttons. Now drop down and create a div tag. Write ID as Lucknow, then class, equals tab content, Then drop down and create a h3 tag and write the heading as Lucknow. So within this div element, we are going to define the description or the content of this Lucknow tab. And now let me just quickly copy the text from the example page. Create a p tag and then let me paste the text. You can pause the video and write the same text if you want, or you can write any other text or any other dummy text. Let me just quickly close the p tag here and add a p tag here so that both of these lines are in different paragraph. Then copy this entire block of div element and paste it twice. Now let's change the ID and the name of these two div elements. Make it Mumbai. Mumbai is the capital of Maharashtra. Then this last one to Hyderabad. Hyderabad is the capital of Telangana state. Okay, refresh and you can see that we have the heading as well as the content of all the three tabs. So this completes the HTML part, and now we need to move to the CSS part to style the page. Right, star, open curly braces, then box hyphen sizing, border hyphen box, then body, font hyphen family, lato lato comma sans hyphen serif. When we style any HTML tag, we just write the name of the tag. The syntax for styling any class of HTML is dot and then the name of the class, and when we style any ID, then the syntax for styling any ID is hash symbol then followed by the name or followed by the ID. Then let me quickly write a comment. Dot tab, because we are going to style a class. Right, float is left, border 1 pixels, space solid space hash 355C 7D. This will add a border of 1 pixel width all around. Then background hyphen color as hash 355C7D. Then width as 20%. Then height as 300 pixels. So this is going to create a tab which is going to contain all the tab links, which has a width of 20% of the total width of the screen, and it has a height of 300 pixels, and it is going to be left aligned. Now let's refresh in the browser and see that. Now let's style the buttons which are inside it. Write dot tab space button, because the button tag is inside this dot tab class. Write display as block. This will make sure that only one button is displayed in one line. Then background hyphen color as inherit. This will inherit the color of the background. Color as black. This will change the font color to black. Then padding as 22 pixels top bottom and 16 pixels left right. Then width as 100%, so it will take the entire width of that tab. And border as none, so these buttons will have no border. then outline as none. Let's save this and open browser, refresh. Now write text hyphen align as left, cursor as pointer. This will change the cursor to a pointer when we hover over the buttons. Transition as 0.3 seconds. This will add a hovering effect. Then font 400 space 17 pixels. 400 is the font weight, 17 pixels is the font size. Then color as white. Refresh and you can see in the browser. You can notice that I have already defined this color attribute first as black and then later as white. So this is just to show that browser takes the final value that we have defined in the CSS part. So the final value is this color defined as white. So the font color is going to be white. This is just to show you how this web designing works. You don't have to write color twice. You just write this color as white. Then let me quickly just add a comment. Hovering effect on buttons of tab. Then write dot tab space button colon hover, open curly braces. Then write background hyphen color as hash EEE triple E. Then color as black. Save it. Refresh it in the browser. Now let's hide all of these tabs so that we can display only one of them which is clicked upon. Write a comment, style active tab. Write dot tab space button dot active. And background hyphen color as hash triple D. Then color as black. And font as 500 space 25 pixels space Lato comma sans hyphen serif. Let me just add this font family here also. Okay, save it. Now let's hide all of the tab contents and display only the one that we want. Write dot tab content and display as none and float as left. Padding 0 space 12 pixels. Then border 1 pixel space solid space hash triple D. Width 70%. And border hyphen left as none. Then height is 300 pixels. And refresh. You can see that all of the tab contents are hidden now. this display as none property of this .tab content is responsible for hiding all of the tab contents, and on clicking on any one of the buttons, this opacity function of JavaScript is invoked. So now let's define this opacity function. Get below all of the div elements and create a script tag and write function space opacity. C is capital in this opacity. Make sure to write this correctly. Then open bracket and write EVT, comma, city name, N is capital in name. Then open curly braces, write variable I, comma, tab content, comma, tab links. Then write tab content equals document dot get elements by class name. Then open bracket and within double inverted commas write tab content. This statement is going to get all of the div element that have this tab content as the class and save them in this tab content variable. Then create a for loop, write for I equals 0 semicolon I is less than tab content dot length semicolon I plus plus, open curly braces, write tab content, square braces, write I, and dot style dot display equals none. So we are trying to change the display property of all the elements that has this class tab content, and we are changing the display property to none so that all of the tab contents are hidden. Then drop down and write tab links equal document dot get elements by class name, open bracket and within double inverted commas write tab links. So this is going to save all the elements that has this class tab links into this variable tab links. Then create a for loop, write for I equals 0 semicolon I is less than tab links dot length semicolon I plus plus, open curly braces and tab links within square braces I dot class name equals tab links square braces write I dot class name dot replace, open bracket within double inverted commas write space active and comma, then double inverted commas. So in this second for loop we are trying to replace space active text from the class to none in all of the elements that have this class tab links. Then drop down and write document dot get element by ID, open bracket, then city name dot style dot display equals block, and this statement is going to display the element whose value is passed by clicking on that button. So when we click on any one of the button, that opacity function is invoked with some value that we have written inside them, and that value is passed here in this city name variable. In simple words, we can say that that content of that tab is displayed on which we click. Then write evt dot current target dot class name plus equals within double inverted commas space active. Okay, now let's refresh and you can see that we have the desired design and this text is coming out of the tab body. Let me just quickly take care of this. Change the width to 25% and refresh it, and now it is perfect. Now let's create the second design for this vertical tab, in which we have one tab displayed as the default one. I'm just going to copy all of the statements from this one and create a new file and paste them in the new file, and then save it with a different name with .html extension. Now let's remove this display property from this .tab content in this CSS part, and then add one more attribute to this second button. Write ID equals default open. Then outside this function that we have defined in the JavaScript, write a comment, get the element with ID default open to open by default. Write document dot get element by ID, open bracket, then within double inverted commas write default open dot click. Save it. Open the file in the browser. And you can see that this middle button is displayed as the default one. You can make any one of the button as default. So this completes this video, and I'm going to see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.